What's going on, everyone? We kind of have something really cool that happened with the channel, and just something I wanted to share with you guys and girls, and for all your support. This kind of happened. This is not an ad. I was not paid for any of this stuff in any way, but I was sent a press box by Google to test out the new, what I think is obviously in here, their new phone, the Pixel 3, and I don't know if they sent me the Pixel 3 or the XL, the bigger one. And yeah, let's dive into it. I'm curious to see what they sent me and exactly what I'm gonna do with this thing. I'm gonna review the camera. I don't care about the phone aspect so much and the benchmarks and all that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna see, can you shoot RAW? How does the camera app work? How's the image quality? They have some interesting stuff with a wide angle lens on the front facing camera. And you know, a wide angle and a regular, so I'll show that as well. And let's dive into this. Let's see what's in here, and then I'll give my first impressions and play with the phone for a little while. Then, you know, in weeks from now or whenever it comes out, I'll actually do, you know, a review. I'll actually really shoot the thing, test it, not rush it to put it up on YouTube. But let's see what's in this box right here. Here is what Google sent over in their little press kit. And I haven't looked at anyone's video, so I don't know exactly what's in here. But with that being said, let's take a look. I mean, I kind of have a small idea, but here we go. It's part of this, like, Team Pixel thing that they're trying to do. We have right here a Google Pixel stand, which this one does wireless charging. It's cheese, so it'll work with the Pixel or pretty much anything that, you know, has wireless charging, so even like an iPhone. That also has the case, you know, a case that you can put on it. I don't know what color it is. It looks clear from whatever they have. They sent whatever this is. I have no idea what this is for. It's Herbie brand. Here's a Pixel case. Interesting, once again, no idea. And then lastly but not leastly, we obviously have the Google Pixel 3 XL. I just have to say that I'm excited to try this camera out. I'll explain more, but that's essentially what was in this press kit and what a lot of people got. So let's just open it up real quick. And honestly, pretty light for what it is as well. Big screen, I think this is a 6.3 inch screen. And yeah, glass back right here, fingerprint sensor right here, which I miss on the iPhone. But I'll give you my first impressions and show you a little bit about the camera. That's all I care about. So here we have it right here, the Pixel 3 XL. I'm super glad they sent the XL version because that's obviously the bigger one. The Pixel 3 I think is 5.5 inch, and this one right here is 6.3 inch. And I have the newest iPhone, the XS Max, which is what, the 6.5 inches or whatever. And one of the biggest things I had to get used to with that is losing the fingerprint ID. And it, you know, it's just face recognition. While this doesn't have face recognition, it does have the fingerprint ID in the back. You just put your thumb or your finger over it and you can unlock it. So I like that. And I have been messing with this phone for actually a couple hours now, you know, between doing this. And I do have a lot of first impressions. I do really like how light the phone is. You know, that weird case they sent, I don't think I'm going to use. But I did notice with that, their cases is they're not that high. They don't have too big of a lip. And I think if you drop it at the wrong angle, it's not going to help. So they need to raise the edges on that. But regardless of that aside, the usability of this phone is awesome. Once again, I like that it's lightweight. You can wirelessly charge because it has a glass back right here. So the Qi charger. Another really cool thing with the power button on the side right here, if you double click it twice, it'll actually bring up the camera app itself and go from there. So I like the accessibility of it. You know, once again, it's just kind of just another little feature. Is it really a big idea, you know, big thing? No. But the one thing I do realize is, just like Apple, you cannot shoot manual with the native app. You need to buy another app. I'll cover that in a future video and a little bit in this. But the thing I do like is that even editing just straight out of your, I don't know what they call it here, the photo app here. It's not camera roll, obviously. You do have a lot of options where you could go in and, you know, not just change the brightness of the photo, but you can go down and actually go into the shadows, the highlights and everything just in the native Google camera app as well. But I did find that there is another app called Manual Camera, and that's where you're going to get your manual option. It's in the Google store for like $2.99, so it's not a bad thing. And you can control your shutter speed, ISO, and a couple things. Once again, I'll break that down in a future video. But it's just interesting. I mean, I was Android before I went Apple roughly 5 or 6 years ago, and then I went Apple, and I've been an iPhone guy since.
but I don't really care. I'm not into the whole, you know, iPhone versus Android debate. I literally don't care. I'm not like that. Same with cameras as well, as you guys and girls know. But the Pixel line has always gotten very good remarks in regards to image quality, pretty tops for that matter. So when they said, hey, do you want to test this out? I said, absolutely. It'd be an honor to get my hands on this and really see what the hype is all about. And that's what I plan to do. So I'm gonna give this its fair shake. I'm gonna take this out, just shoot with it like I normally would, like with my iPhone, and just see exactly the quality it produces. Now, once again, one of the things I did notice is that, you know, for video on my iPhone XS Max, I could shoot 4K, 60 frames a second. This does 4K at 30 frames per second. So you might lose a little bit there. You can still do 1080 on both phones. You do get a higher frame rate with the iPhone. Once again, is that a big, you know, is that a big thing? I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to whatever you're doing. But I mainly concentrate on the photo side of things and the fact that you could just get apps that you can shoot raw and control more of your settings definitely helps, and you can pull more image quality out of your phone than just shooting with the stock camera apps. Another thing I tested that was interesting, because once again, there's only one lens on this, whereas the iPhone you have two. You have a normal FOV, and then you have a telephoto one, which obviously doesn't degrade as much as you punch in because it has its own dedicated lens and sensor in it. This, you have one in the back, so it's 12 megapixels, and then you have an 8 megapixel one up front, but it actually has two kind of things built in. It has a wide angle one built in, so they say it's more for group selfies or anything like that, so you can really fit a lot in frame, and then your normal point of view. So I was just sitting on my couch, just super curious of what it looked like, and I'll tell you what, the quality is pretty decent for what it is, going in between the wide angle, which does bring in a lot, and going from there. The other cool thing, the one manual camera app that I have for this, is that if you wanted to use that wide angle thing, you could actually go to that in camera and use that and kind of pinch out, and it will absolutely work. All in all, once again, this is just the first impressions. I played with the portrait mode as well. It kind of had the same problem as like the iPhone in distinguishing between highlights and where to kind of put the fake bokeh and the blur. I'm gonna do a full review on this hopefully in the next few weeks. I'm gonna actually go out and test it, really show the photos, get some quality, show with it flares and how it compares to the XS Max, and go from there. But the Google Pixel 3, pretty cool, pretty lightweight. My only other little quirk, by the way, Google, is I know you could set how hard you hit the sides to open up your Google Assistant, but I mean, I grasp my phone pretty hard as well, because that's how I like to type and everything like that, and it still activates, and I have it pretty intensely all the way to the right. I don't know if I like that feature in that, but I do like the thumb ID right here in the back. It's in a very convenient spot, and you could go from there. But Pixel 3 XL so far, pretty cool. Like the wide angle thing. Let's go give it a real test. The other thing I'm gonna say is this notch, and I literally kind of don't care anymore. I got used to it with my XS Max so far in the iPhone. It is kind of weird how deep it is in that regards. Like, it's definitely further down, as you can see, and it's just like scrunched. But if you're really, really worried about that, I don't know what to tell you. Go buy a flip phone, because that's how things are. Basically, no bezels, all screen, great quality.